Good. Yay!
Awesome. So welcome everybody to Make Money Mondays. So for those of you that are brand new, because I know we have some people that just recently started, every Monday, me and Trisha's a diamond. If you don't know, she's awesome. So make sure you're following her on Facebook. We do these trainings for you guys to just kind of share different tips and ideas and just stories about, what we've done to become successful and kind of how you can grow your own business. And tonight we're really excited because we have a couple of distributors that we're spotlighting that have just been really taking initiative in the business and doing great and signing up little customers and growing their network. And so sometimes you guys, I guess we can take everybody's strengths. That's the great part about this business is all of us are good at certain things. And so if we can share that with other people, you might relate to something else that someone else is doing versus me and Trisha just like yapping away at you guys every week. So what we're going to focus on a lot tonight is for new distributors or current distributors. The ways we get paid, obviously, in this business is to sign up loyal customers and sign up distributors. And so by doing that, you have to always be adding to your network, which is huge. So if we're posting on Facebook or, if you're just out meeting new people, you always want to be adding to, your potentials list or your hundreds list. So they call it in the It Works world. And so tonight we're going to have Sky, who is one of Trisha's distributors, and she is freaking rocking and rolling and signing LCs like no other. She's going to share with us tonight just her 2 best tips on how she has been so successful signing loyal customers. And then we're going to have Shaylee talk a little bit about how she has grown her network because she had like a really small network when she started, and she's just kicking butt on Facebook and social media, growing her network. So Sky, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Sky, so if you want to share your top 2 tips on how you are super awesome kicking butt signing loyal customers, that'd be awesome.
Okay, so hi guys, I'm Sky. Started this business a few months ago, and honestly, the way that I've been signing loyal customers is, for one, being a product of the product and using the product correctly, and 2, follow up. One thing that's really hard is actually reaching out to people, but that's the one way that I have gotten all of my loyal customers. And also, when I started using the products, I want to say religiously, I started using them every single day, posting about them every single day. People actually see my results in person. When I'm in person, they compliment me all the time. So definitely being a product of the product and reaching out to people. When you first start, for anybody that's new out there, people are going to get annoyed with you, but I would either A, say keep them on there and show them that you're going to prove them wrong, or B, delete them. I had a lady actually that became a loyal customer, I think a week or 2 ago, and she told me when I first started, she wanted me to delete her off Facebook and that she was tired of my spammy posts, blah, blah, blah. And she saw my results and actually said, you know what? I want to take on a 90-day challenge. Said, all right, let's do it. Signed her up that day. So I would just say stay motivated, be a product of the product, run your auto ships. If you guys aren't running auto ships, you're not really going to get anywhere because you're not trying the products. That's one thing that I really realized is that you have to actually try the products, and you can't just be saying, oh, these things really work, but you're not proving it to anybody. So that's my 2 main tips, I would say.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. And it's such a cool story because there's so many people in the business that are just skeptical at first and they don't know what you're doing. And you start posting all over your Facebook about these like wraps, and people are like, what is she selling? Like a chicken Caesar wrap, or like what is she spamming about? But with consistency and persistency in your business, as people start to see over and over and over again how the products works for you or how they're working for other people, and you just sharing those stories on your social media, people are going to come around because they're going to be like, oh, well, this is like the real deal. So even though if it feels like at first you're not getting a lot of likes on your post or a lot of comments, trust me, people are watching and people are going to eventually want these products, especially right now, you guys. This is like our time, our boom time, because New Year's is like, what, a couple weeks away, 3 weeks away? And everyone's going to have New Year's resolutions. Everyone wants to get in shape. Everybody wants to make more money. So it's really the time to be more consistent than you've ever been as far as your social media posting. And just like Sky said, use the products and really, really be passionate and be so confident of how the products work and that they do work and what they can actually do for other people. So I love that. Awesome, Sky. Thank you for sharing.
I wanted to also touch a little bit on Sky's story. First of all, Sky and I met when I was picking out paint colors for the baby's room. So I gave her a Blitz card and I added her on Facebook. So that is huge right there because she's turned into such a great part of our team. Also, too, when it comes to using the product, since she's started, it's been, how long have you been in the business, Sky?
Sorry, I muted myself. 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
I lost her.
So now it's been 4 months of her using the products, but how much weight have you lost?
12 pounds, but religiously I've been using it about a month.
Yeah, so she built that strong testimony, and I swear it wasn't until I started sharing my personal results and a really good testimony, that's when people started coming around and saying, oh my gosh, that's you, I want this, or I want to try this. So that consistency over time of getting all those no's and feeling defeated and having to, feel like you're trying to convince someone, at the point where you get where she's at and she has this wonderful testimony, people are just going to come to you, obviously with her following up, but yeah, that's huge. So I wanted to share that. So for you.
When I started, I was going through some stuff, so I kind of wasn't using the products as much as I should have been, and I was really not consistent. As soon as I started being consistent with it, that's when I started booming. So
taking your pictures, and you've been vulnerable, and you've done the videos, and you've posted your results consistently, and I've seen from beginning to now the transformation. So people are looking and watching that. So
yep.
Yay. Awesome. I love it. I'm so excited for you, Sky.
Thank you.
Big things coming, girlfriend.
I know.
Yay. Okay, so I totally love that. So if you're going to write anything down and take anything from this, I would say be a product of the product, make sure you're running your auto ship, and then make sure that you're posting stories thoughtfully on Facebook. You don't want to just post spammy stuff and pictures of bottles. That doesn't do anything for people. But there really is nothing stronger than having your own testimony, because these people know you and they see you transforming, and they're like, wow, like I got to get some of that. So those are kind of the main things I would say. And then I know they both briefly touched on that, but you really have to then take the initiative to follow up with those people. So if people are liking your post or people are messaging you, it is our job as a distributor to message them and to get the products in their hands. People very rarely will come to you and just be like, okay, Trish, I'm ready to order. Like that is once in a blue moon. So as scary as it might be, you really have to be okay making that initial contact. If they've had any engagement with your post, or even people that haven't, just reach out to them and be like, hey girl, I don't know if you've seen what I've been doing on Facebook. You might think I'm crazy, but I have my hands on some really amazing products, and I'm looking for a couple of product models for the new year. Do you have any health and fitness goals you're working on? I'd love to work with you. So you can reach out to people that way too, but you have to, again, be the one reaching out, because if you sit around, you guys, and wait for messages to come to your inbox and you're trying to go to diamond level or even ruby level, like it's going to take you a really, really long time. So you can move your business a lot faster if you're the one that is, having the initial first touch with people. Okay. So any questions about loyal customers at all before we move on? Anybody? No? Okay, cool. If you have any, just post them in the group chat here, and then we can answer them at the end. All right. So moving on to Miss Shaylee. So again, we're posting on social media, we're sharing our results, and if you're constantly doing that, it's great, but eventually you're just going to be posting to the same 150 friends that you have on Facebook. Okay. So my goal when I started in the business, I had 700 friends on Facebook, And I was like, I got to get to 5,000. I got to get to 5,000. That's the limit that Facebook gives us. Because, I mean, would you rather market to 150 people or would you rather market to 5,000 people? Like it's a whole different ballgame when you have a big giant network that you're constantly interacting with. And so Shaylee has been really good at building her network. And Shaylee, if you can just share your top 2 tips about how you've grown your network and kind of where you started and where you are now, that would be awesome and super helpful for us.
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
So I started in February, and I probably had around 150 friends on Facebook when I started. I was always posting every day, like 3 to 5 times a day, but no one was really liking my posts. No one was commenting, and it just felt like no one would hear me post what I'm talking about all the time. And I did notice that when I started adding a bunch more people and bringing more people into your business, you can actually help more people. The more people you know, the more people you can help change lives. And so I usually add around 20 to 30 people a day. And you're probably wondering, well, where do you find these people? Do you just add random people? No, that's not what I do. I actually join a bunch of groups. If you have like a hobby of some sort, like some people like makeup, I like horses, so I'm in a bunch of like horse and farm groups, stuff like that. They have like mommy groups, like music, anything you're into. You can look it up on Facebook and you can join groups. And that's probably the first step to growing your network, is to add a lot of people. The second thing would be to interact with people. If you're not interacting with these new friends, they're not going to see your posts on Facebook. That's what I've learned. I try to comment on everyone's pictures. Like, I'll just pick a time of the day, go on Facebook, go down the list, just comment on everything, compliment on them. Because if someone's complimenting on your picture and you have no idea who they are, you're most likely going to go to their profile and see, who is this person, you know? And so, yeah, I post 3 to 5 times a day. I add like 20 to 30 people a day, try to message at least 15 people a day, and just growing your business, because the more friends you have, the more you can change their lives.
Awesome. I love that. Good stuff. And so you have built your network mostly through groups. That's pretty much, you don't do like friends of friends or suggested friends?
I sometimes do that, but it's mostly groups, yeah.
Groups, okay. And just to kind of clarify, you're not going into the group and posting about It Works, right?
No, I never post in the group about It Works. I just interact with people's posts, trying to get similar people like me to be friends with, I guess.
Okay, so if someone like is in your horse group and posts a really cool thing about like a great like cleaner for a saddle, so then you'll go in there and kind of interact with them back and forth. And then once you've interacted with them, is that the point that then you would send a friend request?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so interact with them prior to sending a friend request.
Yeah, so because I do get like a lot of messages be like, oh, do I know you? And like, no, not yet. But yeah. I just usually ignore it, or I message them about the business. I don't really cold message people too much. I just kind of wait for them to like or comment on my status, and then I'll go and message them.
Okay, and so when you're in the groups, I mean, and then you friend request someone, do you ever say like, yeah, I know you from the Horsey and Me group or whatever it is?
Yeah, definitely. So if they ask, how do I know you? I'll be like, oh, we're in the same group. I just wanted to connect with like-minded people, the same hobbies as me.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's what I do too, just like when I'm sending friend requests to random people that aren't even in groups. If they ever reach out to me like, hey, do I know you? I'll just be like, I'm not really sure how we connected, but I totally loved your profile and I love just networking with like-minded people. So definitely would love to connect. Like that, it's just simple as that. Like the less weird you make it, the less weird it's going to be. Because trust me, there's tons of people that just accept everybody on Facebook. Like there'll be those occasional 1 or 2 weird people, but and sometimes even when they're weird, then that ends up me talking to them in a conversation about the business, and then like potentially having, you know, a customer or a distributor. So the conversation, don't get weird if they message you. Just know that it's going to be a conversation and it's going to be a good conversation. So just be really positive about what's coming with that.
Yeah, cool. I started off with 150 friends and now I'm up to like 2,600, something like that. So awesome. People do accept your friend requests.
Yeah, you get like a lot of post engagement too. I feel like you're really good about that. So that's another thing, not to put you on the spot. But can you talk a little bit about, I just feel like you're really good at posting certain things that gets a lot of people commenting without just like posting so spam about the business. Yeah. So talk a little bit kind of about your thoughts on that.
So I like to post stuff that will make people interactive. Like I always ask a question or something like the other day I was like, how many times a day do you weigh yourself? And then a bunch of people will comment on it. And then I go back and I message every single one of those people. The more the people comment on your post, the more they're going to see your spammy posts, you know?
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that they'll see your actual It Works post.
Actual It Works.
Yeah, and so for new people, if you don't know how Facebook works, and Facebook changes all the time, the beautiful world of social media, we have to keep up with the changes constantly happening. But basically, Facebook, if you post to your timeline and it shows up in the newsfeed, Facebook's only going to send out your post to like 7% of your entire friends list, which is like nothing. So if you have 100 friends, like 7 people are going to see it. And it's usually the people, the 7 are the people that you have had the most interaction with. Okay. So then it'll send it to like, if those 7 people are, 3 out of 7 of it like it, then it's going to send it to the next 5 people that you've had the most engagement with. And then it's going to send it to the next 5 people. So that's why sometimes you'll have a post that like just goes haywire and you have like, a ton of likes and comments on it. And then you'll have some posts that don't have anything. It doesn't mean that the posts that didn't have anything people didn't like. It just means that a lot of those people didn't even see it probably. So you really have to work on those posts on Facebook that is going to get interaction. And then as soon as you have one that had a lot of interaction, that's when then I fire, a really strong It Works post. So hopefully that makes sense to everybody as far as post engagement on Facebook. And one thing I learned early on from John Eric, who used to be on our corporate team, is he said, it's so important that you talk to people on Facebook, not talk at Facebook. So like connect with them, talk to people, don't just like blah on your wall that doesn't have anything that people can interact with. So does that make sense to everybody? Yeah. Can I get like, what, break through? I got it.
I'm gonna
light bulbs.
A little bit to that as far as like my posts that I've been doing. I act like I'm talking to one person more or less because then they all feel special. So like when I say like, please help, I need ideas for my elf, like everyone's going to comment because it's as if I'm talking to just that one person and then they all want to comment. So, talking to them, not at Facebook, not like generalized. Another thing I wanted to touch on with the adding new friends, if you are new and you just are like, I don't know if I can do that, what I recommend right now is building or making a new Facebook profile that is for your business, but you're still obviously going to be posting personal posts, but make a new one if you don't want to add thousands of friends to your personal one, because it is something that is so crucial to your business. It is not like, oh, well, I guess you can kind of do this. I mean, I just feel like 99% of my business is growing through social media. So unless you're going to do parties every single day, make a new one and just add the friends to that one, because you can't really grow if you're just not going to add the people.
Totally.
So that one. And then about the groups, check and make sure that there's not a lot of It Works distributors in that group too, because you don't want to come into other It Works distributors groups that are already kind of like working on building those relationships. So make sure that there's not a lot of It Works distributors, and also too, make it fun. Don't just make it all about going in there to find people. Find groups that really truly interest you. Like, I mean, for me, I ended up getting on a bunch of breastfeeding groups because I was, with the new baby, I was learning or learning a lot about breastfeeding, and that was really interesting actually. So then I grew a lot of new friends, and of course, different mom groups, because I have like a ton of kids, and crafts and cooking and that sort of thing. So you have to find something that really interests you so that you're genuinely in there, like engaging, and it's not like a chore. It's more like, your daily activity, and it's interesting. So that was just the little bit that I was thinking when you were talking. But awesome job, Shaylee. You have so many new friends on your Facebook, and that's totally what this business is about. So
yeah, awesome. I love it. Okay, so notes to take away from that is I would say that growing your network is critical in this business if you want to use social media as a tool to grow your business. And it's going to make it that much easier for you to grow faster. And the way that we do that is through joining groups. You can also add friends of friends or suggest friends. And then the third and most important key thing that Shaylee hit on was that you have to engage with those people. So engagement. And just like she said, it can feel kind of overwhelming, but dedicate like a half hour a day or 2 15-minute segments to literally just go through Facebook and just interact with people on their posts. And then you're going to get that many more people that see your post. And then remember to talk to people on Facebook, not talk at Facebook, and just come up with really, really relevant things that everybody could respond to. Like, I know I did one the other day, like, how many pillows do you sleep with at night? Like, everybody sleeps with pillows, mostly everybody. And I got like a ton of engagement. And then another thing that Trisha is good at is posting kind of like controversial things, because people love to get their opinion.
They love to argue.
They love it. Yeah. So, and I posted one the other day about, at what age do you feel like it's appropriate to let your kids stay home for a few hours? And people are just like back and forth. And so my post is like blowing up with all these people. And I was like, oh, this is great. I've got like 120 comments. So then I shoot out a really powerful It Works post after that, because I know that all of those people that just interacted with my page are going to see my It Works post more than likely. So any questions on that, you guys? No, we good? Okay. Trisha, what else you got for us?
So the super duper exciting news that I had happen today, which this happens, often now, a year and a half in the business, I feel like this happens, and it's a learning experience for me, because I'm realizing that what we always talk about, the consistency is so key. Staying excited and being passionate, it's just so key to the business, because I had a girl start on our team tonight, and this girl I met in August, and I was at actually Panera, and I had my shirt on, so I had my It Works gear going on, and I'm ordering food, and she actually asked me, she's like, oh my gosh, girl, you do that crazy wrap thing? I'm like, yeah. And I was there meeting Alyssa, and I actually was just like, why don't you come over and sit with us? Because, Alyssa had just started, and I'm like, you can just listen in on, what a new distributor needs to know or whatever. So I totally was just like excited and open to inviting her to listen. And, 5 months later, she's, she had her baby, and she's just like, well, first of all, I was scared to even reach out to her, because I was like, I have a loyal customer and I'm ready to, start a new team member. You think you're interested in starting now? And then that whole feeling that you get when somebody messages you back, yes, I am, or yes, I'm ready, girl. And you're like, oh, you are? Really? Okay. So it was just so cool, because I have been following up with her. I actually, while we were talking, I was looking, and it was like different things. I would invite her to a party, or I would, let her know about whatever BOGO sale was going on, and just that continuing, like, hitting her up, and then finally, when she was ready, she enrolled. And so that's really so powerful, because it just validates that following up and not giving up on those people that, you know, no just means not right now, wearing your gear, being excited, and talking and sharing about your business everywhere you go, no matter what. And you just really have to let go of whatever is holding you back, because when I get those days where I'm like somewhere and maybe I didn't get ready for the day, or, you know, I don't know, I just don't blitz that one person. And I kick myself in the butt for it, because just like this girl, anyone can use this business. And if you truly have in your heart that it could change someone's life and that you are holding on to such a pot of gold, then you're just going to blow up, because you're going to consistently give it to everyone. And that one person can be your next diamond, or that one person can be your next presidential. And so, yeah, it was just like a really awesome feeling, because I was like, see, this is what this is about, you know, just following up and knowing that when someone's time comes, that's when they're ready. And that's awesome, because not everybody is going to sign up right away, but they're going to eventually come into your business, whether it be a customer or a distributor. So that was super awesome. And she's so sweet, because she just had a baby too. So I'm really excited for her. And I'll be welcoming her soon, probably tonight, because I'm so excited. I welcome everybody like in 5 minutes. But another one that came into my business, my aunt from Tucson, who I originally asked her to order products when I very first started, because when we all start, we go and we call our aunts and our cousins and our, you know, our mom, our sister, just like our close friends and family. And at the time, she just could not, you know, afford to try any of the products. But here we are a year and a half later, and she messaged me and she was like, I've just been watching you for, you know, all this time, and I'm just so proud of you, and I'm so inspired by you, and I really want to try this stuff. So we like started talking about our goals, and she wants to lose weight, and come to find out, I didn't even really recommend the weight loss products. I ended up going with the regular, because we talked about how that was one of her main issues. And then we're going to go on to, you know, trying some weight loss stuff next month, and then she wants to grow her hair out, so following with hair, skin, nails. So just having somebody who I asked when I very first started, now a year and a half later, you know, try the products, it's just like, it's just a really great feeling. So never give up on yourself, never give up on your potentials, and know that your next diamond is like right around the corner.
Awesome. I love that. I was shared by a top leader a while ago. I heard it when they said that anyone that comes within 7 feet of you should know what you do. And I was like, whoa, that's kind of scary. Like anyone that's in with 7 feet. But with blitzing, like what Trisha does, and for you guys that are brand new, blitzing just means that when you're out in public, you can share your Blitz card coupon that came in your business kit and share it with someone when you're out, and just say something like, hey, you were like so nice. Like, I totally love your personality. Here, I wanted to, you know, give you this little gift for the holidays, which is a coupon to my home-based business. Have you ever heard about the crazy wrap thing? So it's just starting conversation with people when you're out in public to let them know.
Oh my gosh, that reminds me. What did I do with that woman's number that wrote it down at the table?
It better be in your purse.
It better be in my purse. Yeah, I ordered again at Panera today, and I was like, girl, we give away every Sunday night. We give away so much product. You got to get on our online parties. So you guys can use that line, because it's true. Every Sunday we have that online party. So it'd be like, hey, let me add you on my Facebook, because we do a weekly giveaway. And they're like, yeah. Anyway, she wrote down her name and number, and she brought it back to me. So
yeah. And if blitzing like scares you, you can just use the rule of thumb of like, you take my money, you take my card. Why? Because they have to be nice to you, because they're taking your money. So if blitzing is scary, you can just start with only people that you're like obviously exchanging your money with, and just say something really simple like, oh my gosh, you were so nice. Like, I wanted to give you a coupon for my stay-at-home business. And like what Trisha said, we do online parties every Sunday. If you want, I can like add you on Facebook, and then you can, you know, jump on and try to win some free stuff. So just really super simple, no pressure. Like, it doesn't have to be like weird when you talk to people about it. So that's what blitzing is. Trisha's the queen at blitzing. I'm not as good as her at it. I'm like, no, that's scary.
But it took me a while. It took me finding something to say that I was comfortable with saying. So my recommendation to you is find something. Oh my gosh, like it's almost like a thank you ending. Like it's almost like I'm giving them their receipt of their interaction with me. And it's simply, here's a coupon to my stay-at-home business. Can I add you on Facebook because we do weekly online giveaways? And then if they say no, I'm like, all right, well, girl, if you don't use that coupon and you give it to your friend or family member and they use it, you get a free wrap. So make sure you be giving that to somebody who's going to use that. And they're like, oh my gosh, really? Okay. So, and then adding them is so important because I'm going to tell you right now, not probably like 1 out of thousands will call you. You have to get their info right then and there because then it's just a wasted Blitz card.
Yeah, which is easy to add them on Facebook. I mean, if you're scared to ask people for their number, you can just add them on Facebook.
Yeah.
I feel like that's good. And again, everybody works this business differently. So Trisha's really, really strong at blitzing and she does so well with it and, you know, finds new distributors all the time. I am better on social media. So I just work better connecting with new people that I meet and, you know, starting those initial messages. And some people are better doing parties. So you just kind of got to find like your niche and really run with it, whatever works for you. But if you can ultimately blend, you know, from blitzing to social media to parties to even events and kind of have a healthy mixture of all of them, like that really would be like the best thing to have in your business. But I mean, I've built 90% of my whole business through social media because it's
remember that one I did about using the whole pie. So we're at 2 minutes. Does anybody else have any questions before I take my little picture of everybody? Say cheese.
Cheese.
I just like to always see everybody on here. It makes me so happy. Does anyone have any questions? We have 2 minutes. Nada?
I don't think so. If you haven't made your Christmas wish, go do it because It Works is granting 12 distributors. Well, now they have 10 left. Whatever your Christmas wish is, if you get picked from the pool of all of the videos and you hashtag my Christmas wish.
Or all I want for Christmas, I thought it is.
I think it's my Christmas wish. And then
either way, I didn't know that they were giving them away already. They're already picking winners. So you guys better get those videos out there because I was like, oh my gosh, they're already picking people. Oh my gosh. So I need to make mine. I don't even know. I wanted to wish for our entire team to go on a cruise, but then I think they're picking like really heartfelt stuff, like people with cancer and stuff. And I'm like, no, I just want my whole team to go on a cruise.
So yeah, get out there and make your wishes. Take advantage of the BOGO for Confianza that's happening right now. Reach out to all your little customers, let them know about the special. And it's going to be a big month, you guys. I'm so excited. Remember, plant your seeds because the boom is starting. Can't wait. Anything else, Trish?
No, that's it. Thank you guys so much for coming on tonight.
And we'll see you next Monday.
Woo! Good night.
Bye, guys.